Hi, my name is Tadpole, and this is a video on Shadow Demon, the fifth least popular hero in Dota. I'm making this because he's my fifth most popular hero, and I think he should be more popular, just because he's fun to play, a strong hero, and he's just very unique. He has a lot of outplay potential and whatnot and stuff like that. I think many people play the hero poorly, and they give this hero a low win rate, and it makes me upset. So to combat this, I'm making this video, and I'm gonna start off with suggesting that anybody who has gotten this far already to read the wiki on Shadow Demon if you already haven't, because that covers a lot of the information that I don't want to cover, which is the boring numbers and how abilities scale and stuff like that. So, and I really want to talk about the logic of how to play this hero and what is good and what is bad. So the first thing is Disruption. Disruption is one of the abilities in Dota 2 that has both offensive and defensive. You can cast it on both allies and enemies. And the reason to cast it on allies and enemies are opposites of each other. Like, you cast it on enemies to kill them, and you cast it on allies to save them, of course. So Disruption is a 2.5 second banish that will help set up for abilities, most importantly. So this is what happens most of the time with it. But it also makes illusions, which steals auras, as well as abuse high stacking heroes or heroes that have a lot of items that give them stats that benefit illusions. You can also temporarily ignore heroes such as Abaddon that you just don't want to focus in team fights, and you can also just run away from heroes with banish, with offensive banishes. And a defensive banish just saves a disabled ally temporarily, if that makes sense. And it disjoints incoming projectiles and makes strong illusions of an enemy. So that's Disruption, and then there's Soul Catcher. And Soul Catcher is a very simple ability. It's just 50% damage bonus. So what that means is that a hero effectively has 50% less effective HP. His HP pool is halved, and it doesn't matter. Like, there's no way to prevent that from happening. There's no counter to Soul Catcher except for Magic Immunity, which it actually is not dispelled by, but you can't affect. You cannot put the debuff on Magic Immune enemies. So after that, there's Shadow Poison, which is the by far the highest damage ability. Not by far, but it is a very high damage ability and has the highest numbers for damage once you have 5 stacks on it, doing 1040 magic damage at level 4 with 5 stacks, and 320 at level 1, which is enough to kill a lot of offlaners with the initial 50 damage as well. That's 260 plus 250, so 510 magic damage. It's not enough to kill, but quite a bit. So Shadow Poison does provide flying vision, which is important to note, because it will you'll be able to cast Disruption and Purge using the vision from during nighttime with Shadow Poison. And then finally, Demonic Purge is just a basic dispel 5-second slow that pierces magic immunity. So most well known for countering Omni Knight's Repel as well as Guardian Angel, but will purge any buff, most buffs in the game. So what this means is that Shadow Demon is quite good for Omni Knight, heroes that are reliant on magic immunity, heroes that give buffs to their enemies, Viper, Anti-Mage, Juggernaut, and Phantom Assassin are both very prone to aggressive disruptions for the illusions. And Shadow Demon is also countered by basic dispels, such as Abaddon's Aphotic Shield and Slark's Dark Pact, because it makes it hard to get high stacks of Shadow Poison up, because the number is constantly being reset. And finally, Shadow Demon is strong with Leshrac, Mirana, Kunkka, Slardar, Dazzle, Invoker to set up skill shots, but any other hero that benefits from the positioning advantage from Disruption, as well as high mobility heroes. The self-disruption, or rather defensive disruption, on high mobility heroes makes them more forgiving to play, and will often makes high mobility heroes even higher mobility heroes. So that's all I have to say about Shadow Demon. I think I'd like to see him not the 106th most popular hero, so if you guys could start playing him, that'd be nice. I'd like to see more Shadow Demon in my pubs.